Good evening, everybody, and thank you so very much for joining us this evening. We're really pleased to have you all join us on this very hot and humid evening, and we really do hope that you find the presentations that we do on this webinar really useful this evening. My name is Ofra Muflahi, and I'm the UK professional lead for the nursing support workforce here at the Royal College of Nursing. And I'm going to hand over to my colleague Sharon to introduce herself.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Sharon. I'm the Vice Chair of the Nursing Support Worker Committee for the RCN. I'm also a steward and learning rep in my local organisation and also a branch treasurer. So I'm very, very active within the RCN. So welcome. It's really lovely to have you here this evening.
Thank you so much, Sharon. So this webinar is part of a series of sessions that we're running here at the college, and we're doing them throughout the year, and they are tailored specifically to the nursing support workforce. And these webinars are designed to share information about the Royal College of Nursing, the kind of support that we offer, the resources that you can access, and a really great way of engaging with fellow members and the Royal College of Nursing itself. So please, regardless of what role that you're in, whether you're a healthcare assistant, a nursing associate, a trainee nursing associate, a care assistant, an assistant practitioner, whichever setting you're working in, these sessions are about really learning more about what the Royal College of Nursing offer is. The sessions are actually open to members and non-members who are very welcome, and you'll find out more about exactly what's in store this evening. So just a little bit about the membership within the Royal College of Nursing. And as I'm sure many of you will be aware, the nursing team is a varied skill set across certainly the Royal College of Nursing. And part of the Royal College of Nursing is absolutely about welcoming our nursing support workforce, which include roles like care assistant, nursing associate, associate practitioner, assistant practitioners, and so forth. So really these webinars are all about you, and we will have a Q&A at the end of the presentation, so please feel free to either raise your hands or put the questions in the Q&A, and we will pick those up. So we've got lots in store for you this evening, and really thinking about some of the RCN financial benefits within the college. And on the agenda this evening, we've got some great speakers. So we'll be joined by Alan Ritchie's, the Divisional Affinity Relations Manager, who will be giving us an introduction on the RCN's financial advice partner, Quilter. We've also got Ian King, who's a welfare advisor with the Membership Support Services, and he'll be giving us an insight to the welfare service and guidance available at the Royal College of Nursing. We'll then move on to how members can use RCN Extra, and Julie Ballard, our Corporate Relations Manager, will talk us through that. And then at the end, we'll talk about what we've heard, and if there are any questions that anybody has, we can hopefully respond to those questions. And before we start, just a gentle reminder to everyone that the session is being recorded and will be promoted on the RCN website and the YouTube channel, and it's also emailed to registered attendees. So please be aware of the questions that you may ask, and if you come on screen, and we really would kindly remind delegates to ensure that you don't disclose any sensitive or confidential information during the webinar. So I think if you have also any specific questions, then please post them in the Q&A or raise your hand. So that's me done. I think I'm going to hand over to our first speaker, who's Alan Ritchie's. Over to you, Alan, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I did the typical mistake there and didn't take myself off mute. Thank you for the introduction. So hello everyone, my name's Alan Riches from Quilter Financial Advisors, and I'm just going to take you through a bit of a whistle-stop tour of Quilter and who we are and what it is we do and why it's a valuable member benefit, and hopefully do a bit of myth busting along the way in terms of the benefits of RCN members. So if we can move into the slides, please, Jonathan. Thank you. So moving on to the next one, the image there kind of is to demonstrate sort of safe and security, which is overall what the financial advice service is designed for. So I'll go through a little bit of what we do, why it's of value and importance to RCN members, and how you can access the service. So in the next slide, we can see that, next slide, please, Jonathan. We've been working with the RCN for approaching 2 decades now, and we've been appointed as the Quilter the financial advisors for RCN members, and we work with a lot of organisations across public sector as well as private sector, and direct with employers as well, working with their employees to work on financial education and general information. And in the next slide, please, Jonathan. We are a UK-wide company. You can see our nice Trustpilot score there. We have a strong network across the UK, and because of the size of Quilter, we can support members wherever they are in the UK, and that also means that we can get great value for members in terms of interest rates, returns, that sort of thing, when you're looking at planning for your future. So moving forward, please, Jonathan. What is it? So on the next slide, there's a graph which we describe our service as cradle to grave. So it can be literally from savings for children, grandchildren. You might be looking to save for their future, their university fees, that sort of thing, if that's part of the plan, or just something when they graduate or go into sort of real life, a little nest egg to just support them along the way. Every one of us, everyone has one of these lines personalized to yourself. The green line represents wealth, and the first myth I'm going to bust is the definition of wealth is value. Wealth doesn't mean you've got pots and pots of money and you're rich. It just means you have wealth, different degrees of wealth. So that's the reason on the left-hand side where it starts, the line is going down. So when we're in education, further education, our outgoings are probably more than our income. So that's where your wealth is at that stage. And then you launch into your career, and you may be looking to start a family, get on the property ladder. So we can help right from the outset with that. And as you progress, salary increases, maybe promotions along the way, that sort of thing. So your wealth gradually increases along the way. And we've got an age band across the bottom there. So as you get towards the middle of that graph is when you're getting towards retirement. And we're really helping you remember to look at the right-hand side of the graph. And the further ahead you look at that, the easier things will be. So moving on to the next slide. So along that journey, we're committed to providing education and information and advice to members. So looking after well-being, general well-being, mental well-being, and financial well-being is a key element of all of that. And often the financial well-being element is the core that causes many issues, and they all interact with each other and impact each other. So we have regular events, national events hosted, which you'll find through the RCN website, and as well as local events and regional events, either at the workplace or run by the RCN regional offices. And we can also do this via webinar. We can do it on site, and any personal advice can be in the same way. It can be face to face. If you prefer to look someone in the eye, we can also operate remotely as well for convenience. And right the way through your sort of financial life, financial career, financial events, from getting on the property ladder, as I mentioned, right the way through to your retirement and your pension. So everyone on this call, I hope, will have a pension. If you haven't, if you've opted out of your pension, so it used to be the law that you would have to opt into a pension. They changed the law because that isn't a good thing not to opt into a pension. So now you have to opt out of the pension. If that's something you have done, then you should probably speak to a financial advisor, because that will have a huge impact on your future. Moving on to the next slide, please. So why is financial advice a valuable thing to have? In the next few slides, we'll look at the reasons why some people may think, I don't need financial advice, or I can't afford it, or I haven't got any money, so there's no point. It's not about being Bill Gates with millions of pounds to invest. It's about securing your financial future and your family's financial future. So in the next slide, please. You might be looking to get on the property ladder, as I mentioned. You might already have a home, own a house, and have a mortgage. You might be on a fixed rate. That might be coming to an end in the next months, years. So you need to review the market. So there's a lot of people at the moment who are coming to the end of their fixed rate, which means that when they fixed it 3-5 years ago, whenever, the interest rates were much lower than they are now. So it's going to be a real challenge to find something. And quite often, someone's first port of call is their bank. Very convenient. If you do online banking, there's click a button, you can get a loan. Click a button, you can get a mortgage, etc., etc. One of the most valuable things about having access to financial advisors is we can, and again, because of the size of Quilter, we can access mortgages, products, savings, investments, whatever it is, that aren't available to the general public. They're only available to financial advisors. And because we're such a big UK-wide company, we club together with all of those RCN members, all of those other members that I showed you earlier, and we can get much better rates, discounts, returns, etc. So there really is a lot of value in using a financial advisor rather than just taking the easy option and going to your bank. And financial education, that's why financial education is so important. And we could just look at general savings, money management. There's a thing called the 50-30-20. If you type that into Google, that will give you an overview of sort of money management. Unfortunately, I haven't got time to go into detail of that, but also pensions. As I say, if you work in the NHS, that's one of the best pensions out there. If you don't work in the NHS, we can talk to you about enhancing your pension in terms of other things, other savings and investments, which will complement that, whichever scheme you're in, and ultimately looking to financially secure your future. Because going back to that graph that I showed you, when you do get to that middle section, when you do retire, guess what? When you retire, they stop paying you. So that's why you need a pension, because if you imagine Thursday today, so let's imagine just for an example, we're all retiring tomorrow. So what's going to happen Monday morning? Well, first thing, the alarm's not going to go off. So that's one good thing. The other main thing to consider is, could you, from next week, could you live on half of your salary? Because that's, broadly speaking, what happens when you retire. Your income stops in terms of salary, but so you need to make sure that you've made provisions with pensions and other things. So the state pension is about £12,000 at the moment. So if you're 10-20 years from retirement, then you really should be thinking about these things, although it does seem a way off. If you're 30 or 40 years from retirement, you're in a great position, because obviously the longer you do something for, the better the outcome is going to be at the end. So it's rarely too late, but it's never ever too early to think about it, and giving yourself and your family that financial security. So moving on to the next slide. How do you access the service? So it's as easy as we can possibly make it. On the next slide, please. So everybody's entitled to a free initial consultation. So you can find us via the RCN website. My colleague Julie is going to talk about RCN Extra in a moment, so you'll be able to find us within that. Click on the link. There is a phone number if you prefer to speak to someone. Fill in the form on the web page if you click on the link, and someone will give you a call and just set up an appointment to have a chat with an advisor, free of charge. And we'll ask you lots and lots of questions about what your goals are, what your objectives are, what your pension is, what you think your pension might be when you get there. And we start to build a bit of a plan. And everybody on this call, if we all had a one-to-one with a financial advisor, we'd all get a different outcome, because everybody's going to be at a different age, different stage in their career, different contributions to the pension, etc., etc. So everybody will get a personalised plan. So don't do what the person you're chatting at the water cooler does, because that might not be right for you. That's why it's important to take advice. And as I say, the bank is often the easy option, but not necessarily the best option. So there is a dedicated advice service available to you, which you can access very, very easily. And if you have any questions or anything, then we'll be taking those towards the end, and happy to talk to anyone personally if there's any specific issues. Otherwise, look us up on RCN Extra and maximise your benefit. Thank you very much. Oh, I've got one other slide. Oh no, I haven't. Yes, I have. Sorry. So that's just a visualization. So what we do is when we get your plan, we visualize it for you. So all those different colors represent different types of different pieces of income, if you like. So if you want to, your retirement age, for example, might be 67, and you're thinking, actually, I'd rather go at 57 or 60 or whatever. So there's going to be a drop in income because you've stopped working so much. So you need to fill that gap with something, and then your state pension is not going to come in. So that's another part of that graph. So we visualize this for you and help you understand exactly where you are, where you'll be without doing anything, and what you can do to make those goals come to fruition. And so that is definitely my last slide. So thank you very much. I believe I'm handing over to Ian.
You are indeed. Thanks, Alan. That was really helpful. My name is Ian King. I am one of the welfare advisors in the RCN's Welfare Service, which forms part of the wider member support services. I should say at the outset that each of those services, including the welfare service, is available to those people in membership. So to benefit from advice, representation from our service, you would need to be an RCN member. So I shall talk you through, a bit like Alan, it's a whistle-stop tour. I'll talk you through. Hopefully you will have a sense at the end of my presentation about what's available to you, both in terms of service delivery and also the online resources. So next slide, please, Jonathan. Thank you. So as I've said, welfare service forms one of the constituent services of the wider member support services, which from here on in I shall refer to as MSS because it's more succinct, which is not my forte. And that picture shows you the front of our current service leaflet that explains, I think, brilliantly that we provide emotional and practical support for our members. Next slide, please. This diagram just gives you an overview of who we are. So it's welfare, where I sit, a counselling service, an immigration advice service, which consists of 2 immigration lawyers, a careers service, and something called a peer support network. I'm not going to go into detail about each of those services, but it would have been remiss of me not to alert you to what's on offer as part of your membership and as part of my wider cohort. Next slide, please. To access the services, you can do that via the RCN website, which is the URL is there, or by phoning the advice team on the telephone number on this slide. And most of the services, if you're talking to an advisor and need our help, you'll be, for many of them, you'll be booked an appointment directly with that service. For the welfare service, a referral will come to us to be triaged, and then we'll make an appointment with you directly as necessary. Okay, next slide, please. just to show you, if you go onto the RCN website and the Get Help section, you can find detailed information about all of our services in MSS. I'm going to talk in a bit more detail about this financial wellbeing resource that you'll see over on the right at the top. But if you want to know more, as in what can I get from the careers service, counselling, immigration or peer support, then please do visit the website and have a look. There is a ton of resource on there and it's all really, really helpful. Next slide, please. Thank you. So yeah, I work in the welfare service. We are two advisors in the welfare service, so we're a little service serving a lot of members. Last year we supported, in terms of advice and representation, because we offer a casework service, we supported in excess of 800 members last year with cases, and I will explain what some of that looked like. The RCN Welfare Service offers advice and representation on matters like challenging a benefit decision. You might be a universal credit claimant and you don't think you're getting the right amount of benefit, or you've had a change of circumstances. You've had a new baby, and you're not sure that you're getting all of the benefits you're entitled to. So you'll see a list here in terms of on the leaflet that we can help members with advice on applying for benefits following a change in circumstances, negotiating with an employer when there is an overpayment of wages debt. Sadly, that happens more often than I would care for. Disputing DWP benefit decisions, assisting members up to tribunal when we determine there is merit. So if somebody's not getting a payment that we believe they should, or the right amount of benefit, then we will help members to challenge those decisions up to and including tribunal. We also help members with issues around housing. We've helped a number of members this year in prevention of homelessness. Usually that's to do with rental arrears and priority debt, but not always. We also help members to access hardship grants. We help our student members. So yeah, there's a lot that we can do to assist members. Next slide, please. This is really where I want to put the focus of what else, because as I've said, you need to be a member to access, having an advice conversation with myself or my colleague, and if you needed assistance representation. Usually before we speak to members, when they contact the advice centre, what we encourage our colleagues in the advice team to do is to alert members to this resource that you're looking at here. So we partnered with Money Helper, which is a government initiative to develop these resources. Because we're a small team and because there were changes over the years that impacted our capacity and our membership has grown year on year, we needed to look at ways that members could self-serve essentially and get information quickly and help themselves to an extent. We don't see this instead of, but it's certainly a really good platform for members to go on and find some really helpful tools. So it doesn't look quite like this when you land. You get this bar over on the right. I put it either side because I wanted to emphasize just how much is on there, because I know I won't be able to cover it all off in the limited time available. But you'll see there's a little checker there where it says, are you experiencing financial difficulty? So there's sort of yes, no answers there that will guide people to specific areas of the online resource. And there is a wealth of guidance on here. Just looking down at what we've called the advice guide, you'll see there's one on money management. There's one called money troubles. So that's for people who have problem debt. That might be regulated credit debt, it might be rent arrears, it might be utility bills, or just general essential living costs that they can't meet that have fallen into arrears. There's a page for applying for benefits. ones specific to maximising your income, pages about if you're off on sick leave and your pay reduces, and the list goes on. There's access to charitable funds that are specific to occupation, details about managing energy costs during the crisis. The crisis never really ended, did it? So all of this information is regularly updated either by us or as the partner or indeed by Money Helper, where a lot of that resource sits. So please do familiarise yourself with this. There's so much on there that is beneficial, and you may think you need a conversation, but actually get on here and have a look and find the answer to your question. There are also really good tools. You'll see these 3 buttons in the center of the page. Apologies if I'm not using the right technology. I call them buttons. Help with benefits, managing your money, and money worries. And they will, 2 of those, help with benefits and managing your money, take you through to specific online tools. So there are online benefit calculators where you can very quickly, sort of 10-15 minutes at tops, put in information that will then tell you whether you and your family, if you have one, if you've got children, partner, it will tell you based on what you enter whether you are entitled to any benefits that you are not claiming. That happens more often than you might think. We often speak to members who aren't claiming benefits that they're entitled to. I spoke to a member last week who had 3 children and wasn't claiming child benefit. And didn't know that he could because his immigration status had changed. So, hundreds of pounds in unclaimed benefit. So when somebody presents saying they're in debt or they can't pay their bills, this is a really good starting point, because by maximising income, that may make all the difference in terms of budgeting. Which leads me nicely into the bit about managing your money. You'll see on the sidebar under tools and calculators, there's a budget planner. Again, can't speak highly enough about this tool. I use it with clients who present with debt, whether that's an overpayment of wages debt, whether that's rent arrears. We as advisors often have to put repayment proposals forward on behalf of members to their creditors. So we always now ask them to use this budget planning tool, save the results and share them with us, because it's a really robust tool that allows you, not just for debt purposes, but allows you to track what you're spending, what you've got coming in, whether that's as a single person or as a family, what's going out. And this kind of links to what Alan said about the 50-30-20 rule. I won't go into that now because there isn't time, but do have a look at that. But it's about, right, what am I spending on essentials? What have I got for wants? And what have I got for needs? Right. So, in needs, that would encompass some savings. You might not think you have enough to save a small amount of money each month, but by doing the budget tool, you might be surprised to learn that you do, even if it's a tenner. If it's £10 a month that you can save towards something, it might be to unexpected repairs, it might be to something that you need. So yeah, can't stress highly enough how great that tool is. Please do have a look at it. It's not, as I say, it's not for people who are just worried about money. It's for all of us, and it's a reminder to look at, what am I paying on that tariff, and how much is my pet insurance? I got a horrible shock recently when I stopped to look at mine and realized my pet insurance had almost trebled. So it's a good reminder to review tariffs and things. Next slide, please. Thank you. Also on there, on the financial wellbeing pages, and in fact, I think across all of the welfare pages, at the bottom of the page, you'll see a tab for this guide, something called the Nursing Support Worker Money Guide. I don't have an acronym for that, you'll be relieved to know. But please do have a look. It's a brilliant guide. My colleague Claire and I work very closely with other colleagues in the RCN to make sure that this is as robust as possible. You'll see the tabs. We haven't got time for me to sort of walk you through the guide, but please do take a look. It links back into these financial wellbeing pages that I've been talking about. So, are you in work and could you be claiming benefits? Could you maximize your income if you've got a spare room by using the rent a room scheme and having tax-free income from a lodger? how might you save some money? Probably, you know, at a point like many of us, we're thinking we haven't got enough to pay the day-to-day, let alone save. So there's tips in there for reducing spending. There's advice and guidance in there for you know, if you've got childcare costs, whether that's new childcare costs or, you know, you just may not know what's available to you. So please do take a look at the guide. I don't know if I've got a next slide or if I've worked it. I haven't. Amazing. Again, as Alan said, I'll be here for the Q&A. So I know that was a whistle-stop tour. Please do ask any questions when you get the opportunity. And now I will hand you over to Julie Ballard, who is our Corporate Relations Manager.
Thank you, Ian. Some great tips and hints in your presentation there. Hello and good evening. As Ian said, I'm Julie Ballard and I'm the Corporate Relations Manager at the Royal College of Nursing. And my role here at the college is to oversee the member benefit platform, which we call RCN Extra. And tonight I'm going to run you through what is RCN Extra, how you can use it, and at the end of it, hopefully, how you can save some money. Next slide, please. Okay, so what is RCN Extra? RCN Extra is the RCN's member discount benefit platform. Basically, it's a website that you as members can access. And by visiting this website, you can make use of a wide variety of discounts and savings on a wide number of services, supermarkets, etc. So it's not just for, you know, holidays and away days, it's for everyday savings. So it's well worth, you know, dropping in and having a look on how you can save on everyday items such as your shopping. Next slide, please. As I said, why use this platform? I know that some of you will have access to other products out there, such as the blue light card, but you do have access as part of your membership free of charge to RCN Extra. Within RCN Extra, you can invite your friend and family to use the platform as well, so that they can benefit from all the offers that are here. On the site, you will see that we have a section called Exclusive Offers. This is shown on the screen now. The exclusive offers, these are from people like our partners, LV, Quilters, PG Mutual, RCN Law and the RCN Shop. Every one of these products sold, money comes back to the RCN, helping us continue with our work. I think key message though, why use RCN Extra, is that you can save money. You can save money and hopefully you can save the cost of your membership fee as well. Next slide, please. So how do you use this product? As you can see here on the right hand side of the screen, sorry, not very good with left and right. On the right hand side of the screen here, I've listed the ways in which you can access RCN Extra. The key page just to remember is RCN member discounts. And even if you forget where you are on the RCN website, if you Google that, it will take you to the page on the left hand side. When you click on the buttons with the one saying shopping discounts, a login screen will open up. Hopefully this is a login screen that you are very familiar with. It's the standard login for you that you will use to access your My RCN. You simply fill in your membership email address and your password there as well. And then this will open up the RCN Extra website. Just as Ian was saying earlier, this is a member benefit and only members will go through this doorway onto the RCN Extra website. So let's move forward. Next slide, please, to have a look at what we can find on the site. Well, the first thing you're going to find on the site is WOW points. Put quite simply, WOW points are a cashback service. Products that you see on the site will say earn 8 times WOW points. this is cash back, and it stays in your account on the site until you're ready to either spend it on the site or cash it in. Simple premises, the more you spend, the more you will save on the site. I appreciate it's quite a lot to get your head round on wow points and how they work. And you'll see on the screen here, I've linked to a video. This video will take you through almost everything that I'm saying in the presentation today and explain a little bit more about wow points. Message for you takeaway today is that they are cashback on the site. Next slide, please. So this slide gives you a little flavour of the type of brands that you will find on RCN Extra. We've got over 3,000 retailers on the site. And they include, brands that we're all familiar with, such as, M&S, John Lewis, Sainsbury's, Boots. But there are also some very bespoke health and well-being brands on there, such as the Sweat, the Thriver and Weight Watchers. There are, as we've seen, an increase lately of all of those offering meal prep service, which is a great way of managing your budget and, of course, managing food waste as well. So I really do think there is something for everyone on there. I can't take you through all 3,000 offers, and what I would suggest is actually spending just a little time looking through what's on the site, thinking about where you spend your money every week and where you can make some savings there. Next slide, please. So once you're on the site, you can control what you receive. So you can set your preferences on the site so that you receive information on products and services that you're interested in. And you can also control how often you get those communications. As I've said earlier, it's free for you to register. You can collect wow points, and you can also connect your bank account to the site there. Some of the suppliers on the site do card link perks. So when you use your bank card to buy a service, I think recently Cafe Nero were on here offering it this way. So when you used your card in Cafe Nero, you automatically connected wow points there. To help you out on who's on the site, I've tried to categorize over here on the right hand side the categories that you'll find there. So we've got groceries featuring people like HelloFresh, Iceland and Sainsbury's. We've got a number of fashion brands such as Adidas, ASOS, Primark. There are days out. The cinema offers on the site are fantastic and offer really great value there. Really a good one to have a look at there. We've got utilities on there. So if you're thinking about swapping your energy provider, we've got people like Money Supermarket on there and USwitch that you can look at. Health and well-being, we've got gyms and we've got health and well-being products such as Fitbit on there. There's a whole heap on electronics with laptops from Livorno and Philips and Dell, as well as exclusive offers from Apple. So that's just there to give you a flavour of who is on the site and who you can save money with. Next slide, please. Okay. So this is something slightly different, all part of RCN Extra, and it's called the Community Online Academy. And really what this is, it's a bit like Netflix. It is your back catalogue of health and well-being courses here. So it covers things such as Zumba to Tai Chi. There are thousands of classes recorded as videos that you can go back and learn from. There's also language classes on here as well. Every Thursday, they run the classes live. So that if there is a class that you are really interested in, something that, appeals to you, join a live class on the Thursday. If you miss it, it's always there in your back catalogue of videos. In addition, on a Thursday, we do kids classes as well. And these cover things like, dancing. I think there's chess classes, there's a French class, and there's a program class as well. So hopefully something for all the family there. It's really good to go into his, have a look, see what's there. If you find things that you like, put them on your playlist so you can easily find them again there. I know that I'm rubbish at doing this, always try and find something on Netflix and spend all night looking for it. I've now learned, put them on my playlist and I can find them nice and easy. So use that technique here on the Community Online Academy. Community Online Academy is also all free for you. It's included within the RCN Extra package. Next slide, please. This slide is just a bit of an overview of what's on the site. I think this was when I did the presentation, when I wrote it in June. This gives you an indication of what was on the slide, live on the 20th of June there. You can see we've got beginners karate, we've got Spanish, we've got a session on the menopause, we've got something on goal setting, and then we've got a session there on getting up to speed on the platform so you can make the most of the platform and really understand how to take advantage of some of the double offers that are on there. Next slide, please. We try to keep the site as up to date as we possibly can there. There's always new providers coming online, and this here gives you a little flavour of those that have joined in the last couple of months there. As you can see, all offering a variety of discounts from money off to wow points. You've got things such as Go Puff offering a 20% discount, and Iceland offering 3 times wow points on your shopping there. So as you can see, a real wide portfolio of suppliers on the site there. Next slide. This slide here is really my sort of top tips. I'll be honest with you, when you first go on the platform, it looks a bit chunky, looks a bit clunky, it looks a bit intimidating. So I would suggest just carve out a little bit of time and play with the site. Find your favourites on there. Look at what the offers are there. And when you're beginning to think about, hey, I want to go and do my shopping, think RCN Extra first. Log on, take advantage of that discount and use it for your benefit there. So you can see, as I've said earlier, you can set your preferences so you're not bombarded with information there. You can share the love by inviting your friends and family. And if you find that a merchant that you use, somebody that you shop with on a regular basis, isn't on the site, let us know. Nominate them. We can look into this. We can look at making this platform work for you. As you saw on the Community Online Academy, join one of the live demos so you can make the most of the site there. Find your way around it. I'll be honest with you, play with it as much as you like because you can't break it. It's pretty foolproof there. And also make sure that you're signed up for those preferences so you get the double offers there. Recently, there was an offer on Virgin Experiences, great for a present. And they were offering buy an e-card, get 20 times wow points plus 20% discount. So a really great saving there. So they're my tips for how you can use the site there. I think I've got a couple more slides here. If we could go through, Jonathan, next one. So this slide here, I'm just going to leave it up on the screen here. It gives you some, these are testimonials from members who've used the site and just giving an indication of how they've used them, how they've found them to be of benefit to them. Okay. Next slide. I think that's me done now. So what I would say is go on, use the site and save money. And hopefully you can get to a stage where you're saving the cost of your membership. As colleague said earlier, any questions, put them in the Q&A. I'm going to hand back now to Ofra and Sharon to just reflect on this evening and to wrap up things. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to all the speakers this evening. It's been a really interesting, I've learned things that I didn't know, and I've been with the college for many years. So thank you so much for that. It was all so informative. We can now take your questions. So if you'd either like to put them into the chat or raise your hand, Opera will call you up in turn. Okay, so put your questions in the chat if you have any now, please.
So we haven't got any questions as yet. People are probably typing away, but like Sharon says, if you want to come on camera or raise your hand, you can also ask your question. While you're thinking about a question, Julie, I've got a question, if you don't mind. This Community Online Academy, COA, so are the sessions run via Zoom? They're not, I suspect they're not face-to-face. Are they all online?
They're not face-to-face, they are online, and
Okay.
I believe Zoom is the platform that they have been using.
Okay.
The other thing I forgot to mention in my presentation, and it came out of my recent account meeting, is that we are looking at putting RCN Extra on an app. And I'm hoping that we'll have that available towards the end of the year, beginning of next year. May not have all the offers on this straight away, but that is how we're going to move and transition going forward.
Okay,
but yeah,
great.
The Community Online Academy, it's a great place. I have to say, some of the classes are really good. You know, I've done some of the Tai Chi ones. Tai Chi is really hard to do if you haven't ever done it before. Moving very slowly and with intention really takes quite a lot of practice. And you can just do this in the comfort of your own home with your video screen on or on your TV if you are technology minded and can do it that way. And you can work through all this. And there's a whole series of Tai Chi, something for, you know, something that maybe you hadn't thought of doing and didn't want to, you know, expand on that cost for a class. It's free, so give it a go.
Fantastic, thank you so much, and all in the comfort of your own home, and soon hopefully at your fingertips. Thank you so much, Julie. I can't see any more, or I can't see any questions. Just going to my colleagues to make sure that I've not missed any questions. No, I can't see any questions. So, or if anybody wants to raise their hands, but I just want to thank all the speakers this evening. Super informative session. I certainly learnt a lot, Sharon, things that I didn't know also, and just want to thank everybody behind the scenes as well. The webinars take a lot of planning, and we rely heavily on our IT and AV teams and our marketing teams for coordinating it. So a big thanks to them as well, and a big thank you to you all for joining us this evening. We really do hope that you found the session helpful, and if you do have any questions, some of our speakers did put their emails in the chat as they went along, and it's also in the presentation. And if you're not a member of the Royal College of Nursing, I urge you to join the Royal College of Nursing, having heard what you've heard this evening, and the offer that is available to you as a member of the Royal College of Nursing. And more importantly for me, as the professional lead for the nursing support workforce, we really want to ensure that we are accommodating and as inclusive as we can be to our nursing support workforce, and be able to support you through every step of your career, whether that's you know, around continuing professional development, or whether it's workplace representation, whether it's, you know, you being more active within the Royal College of Nursing. So I guess every member has a role to play within the college, and we are one big community within the Royal College of Nursing. And as mentioned earlier, we will be sharing the recording with all of the attendees this evening, and it will also be on the Royal College of Nursing website. And I think my team will also be sharing a survey, so please do feedback, because we want to improve things. We want to hear from you, and completing the survey is absolutely helpful for us, so we can certainly hear from you and improve on things moving forward. I think certainly you will have seen that Sharon, our Nursing Support Worker Committee Vice Chair, is very active within the Royal College of Nursing. So if you also have got any questions for Sharon, then please do post them in the chat or in the Q&A. So I think that concludes our session for this evening. Sharon, I don't know whether you wanted to add anything else. Please do come in.
Just want to say that, you know, I've loved my time within the RCN. I've been here for a few years now doing lots of different activities within the RCN. I've got so much out of it, and I've built such a network of friends and colleagues. I can't recommend it more highly. And please join us on the 22nd of November for our Nursing Support Workers Day celebration, because it's all about you at the end of the day.
Thank you so much, Sharon. So our next webinar is on the 17th of September, and it's all about growing your continuing professional development within the RCN membership. So please do join us if you can on the 17th of September. And thank you so much for joining us this evening. Good evening, everybody. Have a good evening.